The reason a majority of home buyers terminate a real estate contract is because they're not satisfied with the home inspection. Today, I'm going to share with you all two home inspection reports. One of a home that I think is in really good condition, another of a home that I don't think is in that great of shape. The most alarming issues are always going to be your mold and foundation issues. Now, mold is very common in East Tennessee due to the heavy rainfall and the high humidity levels that we have here. So I would highly recommend you getting a hygrometer to put down in your crawl space or basement. And what that's gonna do, it's gonna measure the humidity levels that you have there. And ideally, you wanna keep the humidity levels between 40 to 60%. And if you have an older home, it's probably a good idea to have a foundation company go out to your home to make sure that everything is structurally sound and there's no foundation issues.
So first I'm going to go over the home inspection report that I think is not so good. And as you can see, why a lot of buyers get so intimidated by these reports is because they can be about 40 pages long. I mean, these home inspectors inspect everything, or at least they should be. And a home inspector is not out there to ruin a deal or to upset a seller. They're just going there to report what they see. They're there to protect the buyer and make sure they're getting a good house, because that is who they are working for. And the thing I like about these home inspections, at least the guy that I use for the home inspection, is that he really breaks it down to low level, mid, and hey, it really needs attention pretty much immediately. And here's the page where he just lists everything out that he recommends to be fixed or is a problem. Not necessarily it needs to be fixed, but he's just, like I said, he's going to note everything. We definitely want to make sure those gutters get cleaned. We want to make sure there's no rodents that are able to get into the foundation vents, so we want to seal up that crawl space. We want to make sure that the downspouts are going away from the foundation. You don't want any water getting into that crawl space. If you have a septic tank, you want to make sure your septic tank gets pumped about every 7 years. If you are thinking about buying a house with a septic tank, or you currently do own a house with a septic tank. And back to the crawl space, you gotta make sure that's sealed up. And he noted some mold down in the crawl space. Like I said earlier in the video, mold is very common in East Tennessee. I already had a mold specialist go out there to give me a quote on eliminating the mold and sealing up the crawl space. We see here that some of the floors are soft. I knew I was going to replace all the floors anyways, so I'm not too worried about that. And it's funny because, he's got a report that there's no stopper in the bathroom sink drain. Of course, I'm not worried about that at all. And we do want to make sure that we get some insulation added to the attic to help with the utilities. So just going through here, he takes pictures of everything, notes everything, has references to what he's referring to. He inspected the electrical. It's a 200 amp box, which is really good. He tests all the appliances to make sure they're operating. I did see the microwave wasn't working very well. He inspects the plumbing, tests the water pressure, everything, make sure there's no leaks in any of the pipes. Now, the water heater was getting older, so I'm probably going to replace that even though it's working. We don't want it to start leaking in the house. The HVAC was working. I'm probably just going to have that serviced. You do want to get your HVAC serviced at least once a year. And the roof was in good shape actually, but the attic needed a little bit more insulation. Foundation, he already really talked about that. I'm going to have that crawl space sealed up nice and neat and get rid of any of that mold on the floor joist. Also, make sure the seller always has an updated termite letter, or that you purchase one. You definitely don't want termites in the house. That could possibly those things could completely ruin your house. Now, moving on to a great home inspection report, or at least that I think is great, is that this home only had about 4 items that were reported from the home inspector, and they were all low-level concerns. So this is a great report Most of the time, you're gonna see at least 10 items, so you can't complain. The home buyer's very excited, home seller's excited that they kept their house in good condition. So we should have a deal here moving forward on this home.
Thank you for watching today's video. I hope you found the information helpful. And I know most of the time a home buyer is going to get the home inspection, but sometimes it's a really good idea if you're thinking about selling your home to get a home inspection before putting it on the market. That way, before a buyer comes with an offer on your home, you kind of know what to expect if they do get a home inspection. And you can also fix any of those issues that you didn't already know about. If you need a list of contractors to help fix any of these home repairs that you may have, please ask me. I'm happy to help in any way that I can. My name is Patrick Goswitz, and I'm a real estate broker with eXp Realty in Knoxville. Thank you.